Welcome to the Community Difference Frisco, powered by the Difference Media LLC, and hosted by Brian Poduska with Real Property Management, and also sponsored by Jax Kreider with PBJ Mortgage, Lauren Gill with My Live Love Travel, Debbie Watson with Abracadabra, Bethany Rowan with the B. Rowan Realty Group, Lilliana Aranda with Window Hero, Eric Buchanan with Goosehead Insurance, Meena Singh, college counselor and prep coach. The Community Difference Frisco was created to serve as a platform for local leaders and business professionals to showcase their expertise, values, and commitment to their community. Overall, the podcast aims to create a stronger sense of community in North Texas by highlighting the often overlooked or unnoticed good work being done by local leaders, businesses, and professionals. So sit back and relax as our host, co-host, and their guests share inspirational stories, experiences, thoughts, and insights about being professional, along with the opportunities for our businesses to serve our communities in very special ways. Because a Community Difference Frisco starts now.
Well, good afternoon, Frisco, and welcome to the Community Difference Frisco. We are a podcast firmly rooted at the intersection of business development and community involvement. I'm your host, Brian Poduska. I own a company called Real Property Management. What's up, Eric Buchanan? Right off the bat, saying hello. Good to see you listening and watching. So like I was saying, I own a company called Real Property Management Focus, where we focus on your real estate investments right here in the DFW area. I office out of Frisco. I live in Frisco, have for the last 13 years. And we've been doing the show for about a year, almost a year and a half now in a continuous manner. You're watching episode number 69 right now. If you haven't seen the show before, we are basically a community podcast, which is putting the spotlight on community leaders right here in Frisco. So what I mean by community leader is one of 5 different types of people: a business owner, an entrepreneur here in Frisco or that operates in Frisco, a political leader or board member, something like that around the city, Frisco ISD leadership, nonprofit leadership, and sports leadership. Because after all, we are Sports City USA right here in Frisco. We also have a rotating business topic of the month that we talk about. We are in a new month. It is May 1st, and our May business topic is the secrets to creating content that gets results. So we will dive into that a little bit later in the show with our co-hosts and guests. And then finally, we have the aforementioned co-hosts, and I want to introduce them right now. So let's start with Lauren. She can ride a horse with a full glass of wine and not spill a drop. Talk about balance, precision, and poise. Lauren Gill knows that great storytelling and travel planning is all about creating unforgettable moments, sometimes even ones involving cheese sticks and TGI Fridays. With her kind spirit and sharp instinct, she's here to help us uncover the secrets to content that actually get results. So let's say hi to Lauren.
Hey, happy Thursday, and it's a new month as of today.
That's right. Happy May and happy Thursday to you. So you got to tell me about this whole cheese stick and TGI Fridays. We mentioned it last month, I believe, but I don't think we ever dove into it. So quick story, give us a quick synopsis of that.
Okay, so this ties back to like most embarrassing moments, and thankfully this is well in the past, like in college. But I essentially gagged on a cheese stick and I threw up out my nose at TGI Fridays.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You sure it was in college?
Yeah, it was definitely in college. I don't eat at Fridays anymore.
Yeah, I should know that about you. Awesome. Well, thanks for that little tidbit. The audience appreciates that visual, as do I.
Right. Make sure you eat slowly when you eat a cheese stick.
That's right. Awesome. Well, let's thank you for sharing that. It's always fun to talk about embarrassing moments on air. We are a live show. I don't think I mentioned that up front. So what you see is what you get, and what you hear, you can't unhear. So with that, let's introduce our other co-host, Lily. She can crush the Macarena, rock inside-out joggers at the grocery store, and somehow make cherry snow cones with pickles sound like a vibe. Lily Aranda is proof that authenticity is content. As the owner of Window Hero Frisco, she knows how to show up, stand out, and stay real. She's the perfect co-host to help us break down the secrets to content that actually get results. Let's say hello to Lily. Hey, Lily.
Hey guys, how are you? Nice to be on the first Thursday. I'm excited to be here.
That's right. So
Good to have you.
we've done a little shuffling up and broke up the dynamic duo. So it's good to have you as the second half of the dynamic duo in May anyway.
Well,
So
I'm
I
excited
think
to
we
be here.
talked about the cherry snow cones and pickles last month maybe, or 2 months ago. I can't remember, but have you had one since we've had the last show?
No, but I've been craving one, so I need to go and get one.
Okay, well, the weather is warming up, and I believe the snow cone lady is open. So
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna
Awesome.
have to go.
head to downtown Frisco and check out the snow cone lady. All right. Now let's bring in our guest. So we're going to start with Kim Wallace. She's wrangled horses, mastered insurance, and once tried to troubleshoot a TV using something called infrared. Kim Wallace brings Southern charm, quick wit, and a real-life relatability to the table. As the owner of the Wallace Insurance Agency, she knows how to keep it clear, clever, and client-focused. Exactly what it takes to create content that gets results. Let's say hello to Kim.
Hey,
Hey, Kim. How are you?
good. How are you?
Good. I have a remote control over here. I think it's actually infrared remote control.
Yeah, my husband informed me of that when I called him when he was in the middle of a very busy appointment, and I was like, I can't get the TP to work. There's something wrong with our infrared system, and he goes, our infrared, and I was like, that's when you hang up the phone, and yes.
That's awesome. Well, we were just joking around backstage that I've messed up some live reads that I read IT is it, which I promise not to do, at least try not to do this time. So we all have our little moments, myself included. So hopefully we can provide another moment for the audience today.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the show. Question for you. What's your favorite part about doing business in Frisco?
I love everybody is willing to help. Like, no matter who you ask, I love being the guy who's got a guy, you know? And so we have a list of so many people that at the drop of a hat, they're like, I'll help you, I'll help your customer, whatever you need. It's really community based. And to be in the big, what I would consider a large city versus the teeny tiny town I'm from, it's nice to still have that quality.
Yeah, that's
Love
awesome. That's a great point because Frisco is very much does represent that. And it's kind of a big city now, 236,000 people and counting. So, yeah, I'd consider that a big city.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, good stuff. We're going to dive into, a little bit of your background and your passions and things like that a little bit later in the show. But awesome to see you, and thanks for joining us today. All right. With that, let's bring in our last guest, last but not least, Bethany Washington. She's a brand boss with a flair for acting and a burrito hack that might change your life. Meet Bethany Washington, the powerhouse behind Bethany Brands. Whether she's channeling Superwoman or crafting content that converts, Bethany knows how to capture attention and keep it. If you're ready to turn your message into magnetic magic, she's the one to learn from. Let's say hello to Bethany.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Hi, Bethany.
Hello. I'm excited to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you, and I'm even more excited to learn about this burrito hack. So please do
Same. Yeah.
share
Yes.
with all of us and the audience.
I'm going to give you my California magic. I am a transplant here to Texas, you guys, all the way from California. So I am happy to be here in Texas now. So yeah, I'm going to have to give you my California burrito hack now that I'm here.
Okay, well, what is it?
Well, it's called putting your fries in your burrito. It's called a California burrito. It's a trick. I'm telling you, it is yummy and it is the best. So I will have to try that when I invite you guys all to the Kava Bar Frisco launch in June. And I might have to give you guys the recipe then. So I'll give you that then. So
Okay.
maybe. Surprise, surprise, surprise.
All right, we've got a little cliffhanger, and I can't wait.
All right.
French fries are my favorite food, so I'm kind of intrigued by the idea of combining it with a burrito.
Try it inside of your carne asada. Inside of a carne asada burrito. I'm telling you, it's a trick. It's a trick too. But that's just half of it. That's just half of it.
As soon as you said it, I wanted tater tots in a taco.
Yeah.
Try it. Even tater tots. Anything fried like potato inside of a burrito. But there's a trick to it too as well.
All right. Well, I'm glad I ate lunch already because I would have to get off the show right now and go eat lunch. So, question for you, Brittany. Same one. What's your favorite part about doing business in Frisco?
I'm going to have to kind of bounce off of Kim a little bit. Ever since I have been traveling and doing business in Frisco, like it has been the community, just the involvement and everybody who has been coming together and being involved with each other and being together and bouncing off of each other and the involvement and participation. I love the fact that no matter what, even just coming from California, I have never seen so much involvement. You know, I'm actually a little like taken back that more people here are more involved in Frisco than being in California. There's so much more involvement here, and I'm actually, like I say, I'm taken back because you guys participate so much. You guys just like give your back with so much here in Frisco, and I'm literally just so gun ho and shy. I'm just like, listen, I love the participation here. So again, just what Kim said, you know, just the same thing what she said.
Well, that's a good segue because we're going to take a quick commercial break and we're going to talk about exactly all those things going on in Frisco, some of which are business related, but a lot of which are community related. So they are all kind of interwoven because people are involved in Frisco. So with that, let's take that quick commercial break. We're going to talk about what's coming up in Frisco in a few seconds.
The Community Difference Frisco was made possible by Brian Poduska with Real Property Management Focus, Bethany Rowan with the Beer Rowan Realty Group, Lilliana Aranda with Window Hero, Jack Skryder with PBJ Mortgage, Debbie Watson with Abracadoodle, Eric Buchanan with Goosehead Insurance, Meena Singh, College Counselor and Prep Coach, and by Lauren Gill with My Live Love Travel. The Community Difference Frisco. Together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
Are you ready?
Because it's time for What's Up Frisco?
All right, welcome back. This is the segment of the show where we're going to be talking about what's going on around the town of Frisco. And by that, I mean any sort of events coming up, whether they be for fun, fundraising, job openings, networking, anything like that. So I'm going to kick it off and talk about the first thing here. Lennon, go ahead and pull up that slide if you don't mind. Something going on the weekly basis. It's on Thursday night, so we're going to go kind of chronologically here. This is happening. It's called Live After 5, the series. It's at Kaleidoscope Park, right on Warren Parkway and the Tollway. Great new park here in Frisco. If you haven't been, you got to go check that out. But this is live music at Kaleidoscope Park. It's 6 to 8 p.m. every Thursday night, weather permitting, obviously. But you can see the lineup there, all the different bands and performances going on in the month of May. And then I've been touting this, and we've got some people on the screen and also behind the scenes participating in this. It's our fundraiser. It's a Leadership Frisco Class 28 fundraiser. It's happening tomorrow, Friday, May 2nd, dodgeball tournament. Watch out. Lauren's already got her ice bags all ready to go for when she gets hit with dodgeballs. I know she's playing. Lendon's playing. Lily, I think you were slated to, but unfortunately, I don't know if you're going to be able to make it. But come on out. It's going to be fun. It's too late to register a team because we've got brackets that are locked. But come on out. It's free to come and just check out a great networking opportunity. There should be over 300 people there. There is an after party afterwards at Chef Nick's, which is right across the parking lot at Fieldhouse USA is where this is happening. It starts at 9 a.m. The tournament goes through noon. Again, Fieldhouse USA, and then there's an after party at Chef Nick's that'll go to about 2:30. And then also want to call out what happens every Friday night at the PGA Frisco. It's a movie night. It's a free movie night. You just come and bring your blanket. You lay it on the turf right there. You can see a picture there. It's a big screen, guys. It's huge. It's very family friendly. Pets are also allowed. Just keep them on a leash. But this happens every Friday up at PGA Frisco, 7 to 9 p.m. Check it out this Friday. Who's that guy? The reason I put this one, it's a little bit self-promoting, but it was more so for a joke because early voting, I voted early. What's up, Harvey? Thanks for chiming in. Good to see you, buddy. I put this picture up here because I voted last Saturday, but early voting is closed, which means the only opportunity that you have left to vote in the municipal elections is Saturday, May 3rd. So if you haven't voted, if you're one of those procrastinators, that's cool. That's kind of how I usually roll. But get out there this Saturday and vote. Look it up online if you don't know where your polling location is. But it's super, super important. We've been banging this drum for a while. There's not enough participation in the municipal elections. A fraction of those elections, the fraction of voters turn out for those elections versus the national elections. So let's flip that script and get out there and vote this year. All right, going back to Kaleidoscope Park on Saturday. This is a recurring event every Saturday. It's called Saturday. It's a great family activity or activities, plural, from 10 to noon every Saturday at Kaleidoscope Park. If you have kiddos or want to get out there, they have petting zoos, arts and crafts, and things like that. So bring your kiddos out to Kaleidoscope Park on Saturday. Also at Kaleidoscope Park, again, these are all happening on Saturday. So when you take your kids to these activities, you can also then go take a fitness class for free over at Kaleidoscope Park. So you can see the lineup there. They've got yoga, cowboy fit out there, bar, you name it. Get out there and sweat. Burn off those drinks that you might have had on Friday night every Saturday over at Kaleidoscope Park. And then finally, I think this is our last one at Kaleidoscope Park. As you can see, there's a lot going on over there. The Frisco Rotary Club hosts a farmers market every Saturday from 9 to 1. It's actually adjacent to Kaleidoscope Park. So again, you can spend your entire morning there and just have a good old time there. All right, I'm going to hand this one over to Lauren, so go for it.
All right, so Saturday is a busy day here in Frisco, as you've heard. So I wanted to bring to everybody's attention the 13th annual Frisco Streets Gourmet Food Truck and Music Festival. It's from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and it's been sponsored by many local businesses. And as a result, the cost is free. So there's $10 parking, but as far as actually participating and enjoying the event, there's no cost for that. It's delicious gourmet eats from food trucks from all over the DFW Metroplex. There's whiskey tastings, craft beer, wine, children's activities like face painting, and just tons of fun for the whole family. So if you don't have other things happening this Saturday, I encourage you to visit Frisco Streets.
Awesome. Thank you. And then back to me, I believe. What do we got next? Okay, Cinco de Mayo. So back to Kaleidoscope Park. This is actually on May 3rd, so it's also on Saturday. As you can see, guys, there's a lot going on around Frisco on Saturday. But this is the Cinco de Mayo. It's a free concert in the evening. So you could literally go to Kaleidoscope Park in the morning, hit the Streets Festival, come back for a night concert, and then you're done. I mean, I don't know how much more you can pack in a day. And this I want to make sure we call out because this is something that's awesome. I'm going to talk about the CMA Awards or the ACM Awards, one of those major country awards that are coming to Frisco. But in congruence with that, free show at the NAC Theater in downtown Frisco. It's on Tuesday, I believe it is, May 6th. Yeah, 6:30 to 9 p.m. Guys, what the guys from NAC have brought in not actors, but performers from Nashville. They're paying those guys to come on out to our little Fairburg of Frisco, playing live at the NAC Theater and opening the doors to NAC Theater. It's going to be an awesome event. It is free, so let's come out and pack the NAC Theater on May 6th from 6:30 to 9 p.m. And then, as I mentioned, the ACM Awards. So this is on May 8th. So that event that I was talking about at NAC is 2 days before this. This is on Thursday night. The NAC event is on Tuesday night. I believe there might be tickets still available for this event, but if not, there's all kinds of crazy, awesome stuff going on at the Star, which is where this is at. It's at the Ford Center over at the Star. So if you don't go to the show, just go for the festivities happening around it. It's going to be an awesome time. It's the third or fourth year that we've had the ACM Awards here, and I think we're targeting it to stay here. So let's keep it a fun, awesome time. Is that the last one, Lyndon?
That's it, except
Okay.
for BDA. I think Lauren's going to do
Well,
BDA.
we'll talk about BDA. First, I want to make sure that we give Kim a chance to talk about her events. So, Kim, I'm going to hand it over to you right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually switched offices 2 months ago. And so in June, we're going to have like a grand reopening. We're going to invite all of our customers, our networking partners, anyone in the community who wants to come out, eat some yummy food and see our new office. And we'll answer any questions. Insurance is a hot topic right now in Texas, period. I also wanted to kind of give a shout out to another local business that has something going on this month. Easy Does It Canine Training is actually doing a discount for the month of May and extra discount on top of it if you are a first responder or a military or vet. So if you ever need help with your pet or your dog to train, he would love to help you out. He's a good guy.
Yeah, Easy is a good guy. I'm glad you called that out. And he's got a great story about self-defense too. If you ever want to learn more about that, ask him about that. I won't go into any more detail, so look up Easy if you want to hear a good story. Awesome. Thank you, Kim. Brittany, I'm going to hand it over to you. I know you mentioned Kava before. I want you to just elaborate on that a little bit more.
Yes. Thank you so much. So on June 7th, the Frisco Kava Bar is having their official launch on Saturday, June 7th. They are having a car show. They're giving out for the first 50 that attend free kava tastings. They are having a DJ, Afro DJ. I don't know if you guys know about like Afro punk DJ, Afro music. So they're having a South African DJ come out and do Afro punk DJ. They're having actual the Frisco local officials come out and actually do the opening for the official Frisco official launch for them. So a lot of local officials will be out there. So you can catch that at 7150 Preston Road. It's going to be Suite 111A in Frisco, Texas at 75034. Again, that is going to be June 7th, and that's going to start at 6 p.m. And you can find that. You can just go to Eventbrite and you can register there. And you can also visit them right now if you want to as well. It is going to be inside of Natural Life Frisco, and it's going to be the Kava Bar. And you can tell them Brittany sent you. The owners are Yemi and as well as Arthur Solomon. And yes, they would love to have you there. But again, the launch will be taking place on June 7th on Saturday.
Awesome. Well, very cool. It is a hot trend, that kava beverage. So get out there and check that out. Awesome. Well, thank you, Brittany. And Lauren, I'm going to hand it back to you. I want you to talk about the BDA event that we have coming up in the month of May. I'm excited about it, so I'm going to let you talk about it real quick.
Me too. Yeah, I know. I'm like, don't steal my thunder. Give all the details away. All right. So May 28th, we've got our Business Development Alliance for Collin County. It's a lunch and learn experience. We start with some networking at 11:30, and then we're going to have a business topic this time about the collaboration between our local chambers of commerce and small businesses. So we're changing locations. We're going to be at the NAC Theater here in Frisco. So it's going to be a new location for us that we're super excited about. We can't wait for you to attend. Scan that QR code to RSVP so that we know that you are coming and we can prepare, and perhaps there may even be a drawing or two to entice you.
Awesome. And that is also at the NAC Theater, correct?
Correct.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for that. Like I said, I'm super excited about it. We're going to have some fun, and we're going to have some great content and some great learning going on there. So thank you for sharing that, Lauren. I will wrap us up here on the What's Up segment. A quick shout out to Mr. Kevin Bailey, who is the owner of Texas Cybersecurity. Their tagline is, "We turn IT chaos into productivity." Quick bio on Kevin and his company. TDAV is an IT partner, not just a provider. We understand why your critical business services are so important to your daily operations. This is why we spend so much time aligning our technology support with just such business services. Building a program that relies on 24/7 by 365 network monitoring, coupled with an aggressive preventative maintenance component to ensure optimum uptime for your business. If you need help on the cybersecurity side, look up Mr. Kevin Bailey and his company, Texas Cyber Security. Awesome. That'll do it. Man, we have a lot going on. This Saturday is packed in Frisco. What we're going to do right now is take a quick commercial break. We're going to talk about the business topic of the month. We're going to dive deep on it. It's the secrets to creating content that gets results. Look forward to that. So stick around. We will be right back and dive into that.
The Community Difference would like to thank each of the following partners for their continued support. At Fireboss Realty, we believe life is about relationships, and everything else is just details. Whether you're buying or selling, Scott and Amy Johnson are here to understand your family's unique needs and deliver expert guidance on the North Texas real estate market. With a reputation for integrity and personalized service, Fireboss Realty makes your home journey stress-free and successful. Ready to make your move? Visit firebossrealty.com and let's ignite your real estate dreams.
Everyone deserves access to affordable health insurance, but with traditional insurance, costs can be high and getting coverage can be complicated. JP Direct Health is a simpler, more affordable way to get the health coverage you need. With plans for individuals, families, and small businesses, you can save money on monthly premiums without the need for physicals. At jpdirecthealth.com, we specialize in customizing coverage to fit almost every budget with affordable PPO plans and many other benefits. With over 100 5-star Google reviews, JP Direct Health is a trusted resource making health insurance affordable and accessible for everyone year-round. Affordable health insurance solutions are a proactive protection, not a reactive solution. Visit jpdirecthealth.com today and see how much you can save.
I'm always here to help. Thank you.
Total Care Emergency Room now has 9 locations in the DFW Metroplex. With no appointment needed, our incredible staff will get you checked in with no wait times. Our 5-star facility is open and fully staffed 24/7. We offer extensive treatment options for patients of all ages, providing on-site labs and imaging equipment, including CT, X-ray, and ultrasound, allowing us to provide fast, convenient care for our community. Total Care ER is your neighborhood emergency room. TotalCare.us.
Unwanted pests in your home can be stressful. From creepy crawlies to critters under the floorboards, they disrupt your peace of mind. But don't worry. All Pest Solutions is here to help. We offer a comprehensive range of safe and effective pest control solutions. We target all types of pests, big or small, including insects, rodents, and wildlife. All Pest Solutions, your local experts for a pest-free home. Breathe easy and enjoy your life again. Call today for a free quote. 972-442-1169 or email us at customerservice@allpestsolutions.com.
To belong is one of our most basic human needs. Best Buddies International is the world's largest organization dedicated to ending the social isolation of 200 million individuals who have intellectual and developmental disabilities. We focus on meaningful one-to-one friendships, integrated employment, leadership development, and inclusive living. You have the power to make an impact, create change, and champion our mission of inclusion today.
Now back to the show.
All right, welcome back. We are entering the segment where we're going to talk about the business topic. We have a new one. We rotate it every month. So we are in May, and the May topic is the secrets to creating content that gets results. This is a good one. I like it because, everybody's creating content, right? But what kind of content is actually benefiting you and what kind of content is actually hurting you, right? So posting content isn't the problem. Everybody's doing that. The problem is most of it doesn't work. So if your content isn't creating conversations, building trust, or generating new business, you're just adding noise. To that concept or content, right? I think of the phrase content vomit, right? There's a lot of people out there
That's a good one.
that just vomit content almost definitely daily, almost, multiple times a day. And the impact of that, they're trying to make an impact, because one of the things that we've always talked about on this show is the consistency factor, right? So you need to be consistent about posting content, but when you vomit content, it doesn't have a positive impact, right? So with that, Lauren, I'm just going to kick off the questions, and I'll start with you, just kind of a high level one, right? Why do so many professionals write content that nobody cares about?
I think it's because they're thinking about themselves and they don't really know what their audience wants to hear. And so they are just trying to be the machine and continue to post and have that consistency and boost the algos in their mind, but they're actually not paying attention to what the analytics are showing, what the engagement of their audience is showing, and writing content that is relevant and that connects with the audience.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's one of those that what is the saying? Quantity over quality. It should be the other way around, right? Quality over quantity. So I think you had already had a discussion with Kim on this one. So I'm going to kick it over to you. I'd like you to ask the question that you had lined up for her.
Yeah, I've got a couple of questions for you, Kim. So one is like, what is a mindset shift that somebody could take to create content that their audience wants to hear or read, rather? And then to go even deeper, how could we do that? Like, how can we find out what our audience wants to hear?
I mean, you can always look at what you've posted in the past, right? Or if you have someone in your industry who is just on fire, go look and see what post got them, 50 likes. I'm in insurance, right? And that's not fun. That's not sexy. People don't want to read about insurance, right? So I generally post things that are going to engage people. It might be that our office won a contest or one of my staff members had something personal go on. It's rare that you're going to find me just posting about insurance, unless it's hey, everybody needs to know this in the community. But even that's very rare because people don't want to read about that. People are all about the now, right? So I think in the sense of the mindset shift, if you weren't in your industry, right, would you find it something you would like, share, or comment on from someone on the outside, right?
Yeah, that's great. And then along with that, besides like looking at prior posts, like how else could we figure out what our audience would want to read? Like what are other resources that we have at our disposal that we could utilize?
So sometimes I even ask networking partners, like, hey, what would you find interesting? You can look on your Google Analytics to see what's doing. You can even look on your Facebook Analytics to see what's going on there, to see, hey, how much engagement did I get from that? What was different from this post versus that post? Other than, because if it's just your close family friends that are liking your post, no one's actually seeing what you're doing.
Yeah, true.
I want to jump in on this one because it just kind of hit me as I was thinking through this. And Kim, I like your answer. What about as a source of ideas? What about yourself? Right? What resonates with you? And I don't mean just Kim, but I mean let's all introspectively look. What resonates with you, and why not try to emulate that? Right. So it goes back to that empathy factor, I guess. Right. But I always try to think, okay, well, that caught my eye. That's cool. Or that kept me engaged. Or on the flip side, right, it's the content vomit factor of, dude, that's cringy. I don't want any more of that. Or stop hitting my page, right? Like enough of that. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Would that be a good source, like yourself?
Yeah.
What resonates
One of the things that when I used to train people on insurance, I would say, I want you to list 3 things that you actually yourself enjoy or like about this product, right? Something that if a stranger was selling it to you, you'd be like, I have to have that, or I have to know more about that. So we always do something like that. Even in my office, like we rolled out something new the other day, and I asked my staff, I was like, hey, has anyone ever asked you about this? And crazy enough, the next day a guy called and said, hey, do you guys do that? It was like coverage for cell phones and tablets. And I was like, we just rolled that out. So we always try to say, what would for my own as a consumer, what would I be interested in?
Love that. Awesome. Well, I'm going to shift the questions a little bit, or shift the angle a little bit more into that actual content, right? And the idea of a like, right? Like a like versus a conversation. Kim, you mentioned it, like stars follow, or whatever the saying is. But what's that next level of engagement? And Lily, I'm going to kind of hand it over to you, because I know you've had a conversation with Brittany on this one. So why don't you just share what you've talked about?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah. No, Brittany and I talked about it. Brittany, let's talk about what are the dangers of chasing likes instead of conversations, because we want to get their attention, right? We want them to comment, to DM. We want them to reach out to us. And so in order to do that, can you give us some of your tips?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that people really fail to think of is that we always constantly want to click on like, and we fail to, especially in business, is that everyone's liking, but we need to start engaging. And one thing that I always try to tell people is that you have to be able to engage and use actual tips like ManyChat to actually get people away from actual social media and get away from Instagram, because you don't want to fail like what happened with with TikTok. Okay, so
Right.
For example, if TikTok was to fail again, or Instagram was to fail and go black or dark, within 12 hours like it did last time, and you don't have any leads or anything, it's like, what will happen again? And so what happens is I try to tell people, you have to make sure that you engage with people and get your leads away from there. So I try to tell people, engage and try to get them away from there. So you want to use things like ManyChat to engage with them, to get them away. So you want to try to use automations like ManyChat, like keyword automations. So what we say like keyword automations is try to get them to say words like, hey, use this keyword, use a keyword like, follow me and say this word like, try to say things like business, or use the comment word like business, and leave that comment word like business at the bottom. And then what will happen is it'll DM them, and then it'll engage with them inside of the DMs, and then it will send them, into your actual lead magnet, and then it will draw them into follow them into your business. And so what happens is it will keep that engagement going. So in case something is to happen, like the whole TikTok ban, it will actually keep them going into your business. And so you want to keep things going and following into them, so that, you keep that engagement going. So things like that keep going.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great. And I want to take it one level deeper. And where the rubber hits the road, so to speak. Do any of you guys have an example that through content creation and through some of those things that you mentioned, Brittany, with the engagement side, where you've actually had measurable ROI, and then taking it another level, what was the driver of that of the actual ROI that you got, right? So revenue generation. Does that question make sense? Does anybody have a good example of that?
I get more.
Well, I use
ROI.
this. Oh,
sorry.
Sweet. I love hearing everybody jump in on that, because you guys are all making money off of your content. So Kim, we'll let the guests go first. Kim, what you got?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. I get more ROI, I would say, on the engagement in groups versus just on my page. Because where there might only be 1,000 people who like my page, there's like 10,000 in each group that I'm in. So they always have days where you can bump your business, or I go on and recommend all the businesses that I know when someone is looking for something. So that way, when I need to comment of, hey, I can help you out with that, more people are going to see my post. Like the other day, someone needed something and 3 people called me off just my comment before the person who was actually needing the service called me, which, I mean, that's free for me to post other than my time. So that's where I get the most engagement.
Hey, Kim, will you give everybody your tagline while we're on here? Because you were famous before I even knew you personally because of your tagline. I was like, who is this Kim? I want to know her. And I finally got to meet her in person. I'm like, you're the famous Kim. I was excited to finally meet you because I'm like, hey, your tagline is perfect.
Yep. I'm Kim Wallace, Farmers Insurance. We've got your ass covered.
I mean, there you go. Easy enough to remember.
I like it. That's almost as good as we are farmers. Bump, 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 bump.
Way
Awesome.
better.
That's good stuff. I love it. So I want to shift a little bit again to back to the content, right? So, and this is a concept that we kind of have here, right? So I mentioned earlier, we are a live show, right? So what we say goes out there. We're not, polished. We don't do a podcast that records 2 hours of content, boils it down to 20 minutes, and then publishes it, right? So along with that comes authenticity, right? So we screw up, it's going to go out. But the good part about it is we get the banter back and forth, and it's authentic, right? It's just kind of like we're sitting around a coffee table having a conversation, except we're doing it, through StreamYard here. So to that point, right? So real stories, authenticity. So why is it documenting the journey, right? So why is that more important or more powerful than just preaching out, content? Who wants to answer that one? I didn't assign anybody, so
what was the question?
So the question is, why is documenting the journey, so the idea behind authenticity, so telling a story, why is that more powerful than just teaching or preaching?
I've always said stories sell policies. We want real world truth. We don't want hypotheticals, maybes, anything like that. Every single one of my staff, for every type of endorsement you can add on, they have a real world scenario that we can tie back to a customer and how it helped them, because that's what matters. When you make someone who can be like, man, I could see myself in that situation, when they relate and they get comfortable, that's what sells it.
Absolutely. It's that empathy piece again that we spoke to before. We have to be relatable. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I know I'm deeply flawed. And I am happy to share the mistakes that I make too. One, because sometimes they're entertaining, and two, just because, again, it helps us to connect with others. And I think in order to develop those relationships and to build that trust, we have to be relatable to people with what we post, and then it's going to bring them back. They're going to want to see more of what you're doing, and then when it comes to leaning into expertise, they're more likely to listen to you.
That's right. I mean, who hasn't puked in a Friday's restaurant and can't relate to that? I mean,
I've done it twice actually, which might be why I don't eat at Fridays anymore. Yeah. Senior year of high school, both times. Anyway, keep going.
No, love it. Okay, we don't need to hear all the stories, but all right. So to that same line, right? What would happen if you treated your content like a conversation, not a commercial, right? So taking it to that next level, kind of what you talked about, Kim. So it's your content, it's a conversation. You're relating to the audience. What's the impact of that? Good or bad?
I think it's good, and even when you get people who are trolling you on your comments and stuff like that, that can just add more engagement, because for one person who wants to say something bad, there's 5 people ready to be attack dogs and go after that person. We had that happen with someone in Master Networks on Facebook. We recommended someone and the lady just went crazy, and we all pretty much went after her. Power of that third party. But I think that that's an amazing thing when we engage of hey, this could happen to you. Let's make sure you know about it. This really happened to this real person right here. And people like that. People don't like the little pre-made stuff. I love Canva to death, but they don't want to see your pre-made little ad that you took an hour to make to then decide if you were going to post it or not. They want to see the real world engagement.
Yeah, I love that. And that's absolutely true. It kind of goes to that same theory of, a 5-star rating with on Google or whatever, if it's Facebook, whatever venue it's through, the 5-star rating is not as good as, say, a 4.2 or a 4.3, right? Because you're going to have some naysayers. It's more real. It's more authentic. Nobody's perfect. So everybody's skeptical if they see a 5-star rating on somebody's company or, somebody's product, whatever it is, a service or a product. I like that example of, okay, somebody said something bad about somebody and you got a whole pack of attack dogs that come back and say, no, you're absolutely wrong. I got your back.
Yep.
That's cool. I like that. So, all right. So taking it to the next step, right? So I mentioned content vomit. being vulnerable, right? That's important. Being authentic, that's important. At what point is being too authentic or oversharing or being too vulnerable? Like, where's that? It can be a fine line. Where do you draw that line? Who wants to share thoughts?
I'm the
on
last person to ask where the line is.
Well, given your tagline, it sounds like that's probably not a good question. Brittany, what's your thought?
Brittany, where's the line?
I think sometimes, it's so funny. I think there's no line to be drawn, I think I'm just to kind of fall back off of what Kim said. There's no line to be drawn because authenticity sells. People like people versus the brand, and something that I've learned, and I was sharing this with my members at my program, is that people like people versus the brand. People are going to buy off of what people from you before they try to purchase off of some brand that has a logo on it, and it's something that what Lauren was saying too, as well as what Kim was saying, is just it's too graphic, it's too pre-made, and then when you put all the bells and whistles on it, it becomes too pre-made, it becomes too character, and then it's just like it's unauthentic. And when you are you, people are like, "Ooh, damn, that's relatable. That's me. I feel you, sis. Like that's me." And it's like I feel you. And when it's you and me, it's like I can sit down, I can have a beer with you, I can have a drink with you. That's when it's like, damn, girl, I relate with you. That's me, girl. And so then or that's me, guy, like, or if it's a guy, you know what I'm saying? So when it becomes just you and me, and it's like that's the kind of content that you can, and it becomes relatable, you can sell people that. And that's what Kim was saying with the insurance. It's like just be you. And just be authentic is real, and then people will buy from you. And I think that's what they were trying to say, and I think that's what you're coming from too as well. And I think that's just where it comes from at that as well. And I kind of goes back to kind of earlier too what you were saying about, and I kind of draws back to what I was saying too about earlier, like the realness of like the difference of California and Texas.
Yeah,
just a little bit, it's just like there's a difference.
Well, yeah, and I like that. I like that perspective because also, if you're consistent with your content, and if you don't have a line that you draw, which is fine too. Those that if you cross somebody's line, everybody's line might be different in their own head or their own perception. If somebody doesn't like your content, they can just unfollow you. If somebody doesn't, they can unlike you. They can block you, whatever platform you're on. So at some point, you're then focusing on the audience that hopefully that you want to focus on. So you have to be conscious of that too. Are you reaching your target audience by the content that you're putting out? And if so, your line is good, right? So that's a good barometer to take into account. Now, you have to be able to track who's unfollowed you, who's unliked you, who blocked you, to find out exactly, am I losing the wrong people here? But, you're going to get feedback over time through comments and engagement that will point you in that direction. All right, guys, what I want to do is we're going to do our kind of roundtable quick questions to wrap up the business topic, and that's called What's the Difference? So Lennon, go ahead and hit the sounder, and we'll dive into What's the Difference.
And now it's time for What's the Difference?
Okay, so I'm going to ask the group here some questions about, the difference between A and B, and it's related to the business topic. So no need to give super long-winded answers, but would love to hear what your thoughts are on these questions. We are going to let's start with Kim. And the question I'm going to ask you, what's the difference between posting and publishing?
That's an excellent question. One is right now, and publishing is for later.
Yeah, I'm gonna. It's not necessarily time related. Posting, I would say, is more from like a random visibility standpoint, right? So you're just posting and throwing shit on a wall and hope it sticks, right? Part of my language. I know I get in trouble from Landon when I speak, but that's a good visual anyway. and then publishing is more of a strategic positioning. So that's how I'm looking at, but you're right with timing.
Sometimes I do a post just because I want to be consistent, right? And it might be, hey, I'm at networking right now, and we snap a picture, and that would be more of a post. Where if I'm doing an intentional post of publishing, I'm really giving it thought of, hey, we rolled out a new product a year ago that covered appliances, and I wanted everyone to know about this because in Texas, when your AC goes out, like, we want people to know, hey, your insurance covers that now. And people were so excited. I even added it on to like the ads I was running, and it was getting a lot of engagement. So something like that, where I'm like, people are actually going to want to hear this. I have to be careful on how I write it, so I'm getting them drawn in to call me or text me or message me, whatever it needs to be, whatever best way that is. So that would be the difference.
Yeah, 100%. I like
There
that perspective. You nailed that. All right, Brittany, question for you. What's the difference between engagement and conversation?
Ooh. Engagement, I would say, is more consistency in one conversation. And then you said engagement, and then
you know what? I said conversation. I meant conversion. So engagement or conversion, because engagement and conversation are kind of the same thing. Yeah. So I threw a curveball at you there. That's
okay. So engagement and then engagement and then conversion, right?
Yep.
So engagement. Okay. Engagement and then conversion is getting into a lead. Is turning something into a lead.
I think you're going down the right path. So conversion is the actual result or action.
The result, or turning into something into a lead.
Yeah. You'd convert it into an actual ROI versus engagement is just they commented, they liked, something like that.
Yeah, and the chicken and the egg, which comes first, the chicken or the egg? You have to have engagement to have conversion, right? Sometimes you might get lucky and have a conversion that you never engaged on, but realistically 99% of the time you're going to have some engagement in order to have some conversion, right? So that's how I see the difference, with the conversion being the action or the end result, and then the engagement is kind of what happens before that. All right, let's go to our co-hosts. Lily, the question for you: what's the difference between being real and being relevant?
Well, I guess it's kind of like we talked about earlier. You're getting posts is getting attraction for when it's you, like Brittany was saying earlier. If I post a chat of me cleaning windows, that gets more likes and comments and DMs and anything than just my standard Canva post, So that's more being real. Being relevant is maybe the reader, or the people on the post on the other side of social media saying, "Oh, I need my windows done," and so it's kind of that kind of thing. I'm trying to sell something and not sell it, but sell myself kind of in a way. It's me, but then they're like, "Hey, I need my windows done, so I'm going to call them."
Yeah, and it kind of gets to that meeting needs, right? Understanding what your client's needs are and then meeting them. That's being relevant, right? Solving a stinking problem, as we say. All right, Lauren, final question for you. What's the difference between authority and approachability?
All right. So authority, I see as like the expertise that you bring to the table with whatever field or topic that you're discussing. And then being approachable, right?
Yeah.
That is being able to connect with others. So that is the trust factor that whatever it is about you as a human, you're able to connect with others, and they feel like they can work with you, talk to you, engage with you, versus just looking at you as almost more of an authority figure.
Yeah, and you kind of need both of those help, right? But one takes it a little bit further. It builds off of the authority is kind of a foundation, but approachability really leverages that and then takes it to the next level. Like that.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, that'll put a bow on our business topic discussion for the first week of May. We will come back and talk about the same topic for the rest of May, the secrets to creating content that gets results. It's a good start. I like it. And we've got some good nuggets that we could use out of there. So thank you, ladies, for contributing during your thoughts and experience on that topic. What we're going to do right now is take a quick commercial break, our final one. We're going to come back and we're going to dive into Brittany. We're going to dive into Kim, find out their passions, their whys, and I'll have a fun question for you, which I'll think of over the commercial break here. With that, Lennon, take us to commercial and we'll be right back.
At the Community Difference Business Development Alliance, powered by the Difference Media LLC, our mission is to empower small business owners by transcending acceptable behaviors and outcomes into exceptional realms. We foster a culture of self-awareness, accountability, and proactive engagement, guiding individuals to recognize and overcome indifference towards transformative actions, habits, behaviors, and processes driving meaningful change. Through strategic networking, impactful content creation, and innovative top-of-mind strategies, we cultivate brand relevance and differentiation, enabling our partners and the Difference community to stand out in crowded markets. With a focus on building authentic connections, amplifying brand presence, and driving sustainable growth, we equip entrepreneurs with the tools and mindset to navigate the complexities of entrepreneurship with confidence, innovation, and resilience. Together, we aim to be the catalyst for difference makers, propelling them towards their highest potential and leaving a lasting impact on their businesses and communities. That's where our community podcasts come in. These podcasts lie directly at the intersection of innovative business development and community involvement, helping to bridge the gap between small business obscurity often seen in our communities. The community-based podcasts called the Community Difference Series are an integral part of integrating all facets of modern business development into a package of great content, positive impact branding, and top-of-mind presence, thus fulfilling the greater mission we set forth. When we set out to be difference makers, we can learn to make a difference and find the success and impact innately desired by all business owners and entrepreneurs. We are difference makers.
And now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back. We're entering our spotlight segment. This is our final segment. We're going to learn more and let Kim and Brittany share more about themselves so the audience can get to know them. I like to kick off this segment with a random question, which, like I said, I usually come up with it off the top of my head. So I keep everybody guessing. So the question of today is going to be, would you rather give up salt or sugar? Kim, I'll let you start.
Salt. I live on gummy bears.
That's true. She does.
Like at any given time, I have some in my bag, and I have a 3-pound bag of gummy bears on my desk right now because the girls got it for me for like Boss's Day. Like that's my snack.
Okay, that means you can't have salted fries. You can't have salted anything. And you're okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's cool. I like it. Very convincing. Brittany, what about you? Would you rather give up salt or sugar?
I'm gonna give up salt. I love Ben and Jerry's, so I'm a Ben and Jerry's girl. So I have to go with the sugar.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I don't always ask our co-host, but I want to hear your quick answer. Lauren, salt or sugar? Which are you giving up?
Sugar, absolutely. I would give up. I could not give up salt. I salt things before I taste them, and we all know French fries is my favorite food.
There's sugar in wine.
Not my wine.
Wine.
I drink healthy wine.
That's
Or
natural.
organic wine doesn't have a lot of sugar.
Okay, so we're now 2-1. Hi, Mina. Good to see you. Thanks for chiming in. Oh, we got Bethany too. All right, we got all kinds of viewers chiming in. Okay, so we got 2-1 right now, right? Two give ups on salt, 1 on sugar. So Lily, are you a tiebreaker or a tie maker?
I'm a time maker. I love salt. I love sugar, but I love salt. I don't think I could go without French fries or anything like that. Like there's no way.
Bethany, good point. Margaritas.
True. Bethany. What about Brian? What would you give up?
That makes me have to answer because I'm the tiebreaker. I'm giving up salt. I'm a huge sweets guy, and I'm gonna have a hard time giving up salt. But if I, gun in my head, got to give up one of them, I'm gonna give up salt. I like sugar.
Well, I'm gonna give up sugar, given the fact that you have to have salt to live. So.
Very good point. Very good point.
Okay. Good one.
He just meant adding salt as a seasoning. Okay. All right.
Electrolyte.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
Yeah. And you can always get salt from the sea too. So, right. It's natural. Okay. All right. Enough of that. Let's dive a little bit deeper here. Brittany, you said you're from California. When did you move to the area here?
I moved it's going on 3 years. Actually, no, it's 3 years now as of Valentine's Day, because I moved here 3 years Valentine's Day. That was my Valentine's present to myself. So.
Okay. What's your favorite part about Texas versus California?
Ooh, you guys turned me into meat. I was a vegan for 8 years.
Oh, that's a big change.
Wow.
You can see how that happens here.
That is a big change.
Yeah. Well, I was a pescatarian, so I was into seafood and no meat and no dairy, and then you guys turned me into meat. So yeah, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
You're
welcome.
You're welcome. Yeah, you're missing out.
So I'm enjoying the meat here. But yeah, no, I'm also enjoying, something about Texas. You guys are like I said, extremely friendly, and very welcoming. Business has been extremely great. And as far as just the welcoming committee of just the friendliness and opening arms here. I love California. I love the beach. I'm a beach girl at heart, so I do miss the beach. I miss the sun. But however, I do enjoy, definitely having the multiple seasons here of weather, like right now. But however,
as it is, yeah, the spring and fall are very short. But quick question for you. So what is Brittany Brands? Share with the audience what Brittany Brands is.
Yeah, so Brittany Brands, we are an advertising agency. We started off 13 years ago. I started off working with Kim Kardashian. We were working with ShoeDazzle.com. We were the first agency starting off with a monthly shoe subscription. So we were the first agency starting off with advertising for shoe subscriptions. And then we started off branching off and doing just e-commerce advertising with partners with Google and Meta and Facebook. And then we just started off branching off doing other e-commerce beauty brands. So we focus on scaling other e-commerce beauty businesses and health and wellness and getting them more leads and sales with e-commerce with Facebook and Google. And so, yeah, we've worked with different beauty e-commerce brands with Shopify. So we help you get more sales to your Shopify store, pretty much.
Got it. Okay, cool. Well, I had read your bio, so I kind of knew, but everybody needs insurance. Everybody knows what insurance is. So not everybody knows. I love the alliteration, if that's the right one. The Brittany Brands. I like how the BB flows, but not everybody knows what Brittany Brands is. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Kim, I'm going to shift the conversation over to you. I read that you're a lifelong you're Texas born and bred, right?
Yes, I actually live in the zip code that I was born in.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Which zip code?
76227.
Which is?
Aubrey.
Okay. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hear so many zip codes. I forget which one's which. Sometimes my own. Okay, so you were born and raised in this area. What's kept you here?
Well, I left for a little while. We moved to Whitesboro, Texas, which is like 40 minutes north in pretty much the same town. My mom had gotten remarried, and I started high school there as a freshman, and I actually met my high school sweetheart. And we moved back here just because, I don't know, we found a house for sale here that we liked. But we dated freshman through senior year and got married right after high school. And our 19-year wedding anniversary is next year, or next month.
Wow.
Next month, right? Yeah.
All right. Well, early congratulations. You're almost to that next milestone.
Congratulations.
That's awesome. Good for you. Okay, so
I showed up at a master network that she was at, and she was actually talking. So I got to hear her whole life. So I was excited to learn about the famous Kim.
So you got to see the showcase. Very cool. Awesome. So what inspired you to start an insurance agency?
My tiny human. So I was actually a agency business consultant for insurance agents before this. So if someone wanted to become an insurance agent, I walked them through how to do marketing and how to train their staff. And then when I had my little one, there was no way I was going to be able to be everything that every agent and staff was going to need on that scale. And that didn't seem fair, because if it came down to them or my tiny human wins out every time. And my husband really, really encouraged me. He's like, babe, just open an agency. If we take a hit the first year, we take a hit. I believe in you. You can do this. And so we took the plunge. I opened March 2nd of 2020, and Texas shut down on the 14th with COVID. And there were a lot of tears and alcohol, but it all got better. We still hit our numbers the first quarter, and then every quarter after that. And now I have 6 staff. So, you just have to persevere, keep going, show up every day, be present every day, do the work every day.
Yeah, love that. It's all about grit, especially in that period of time. Nice timing on the business opening.
Right.
I know.
The good thing about that is, with insurance in particular, is that everybody needs it, or everybody should have it anyway. So even with COVID, not to discount launching a business during COVID, because I went through it myself. But the good thing is everybody still needs insurance. It's just how do you reach those people in that strange time, right? That was so weird.
Right.
No, that's super cool. So let's go back to Brittany. I want to know what inspired you to start your business.
Woo, yes.
So you can laugh.
Yes. Well, funny enough, what helped made me start my business? I wanted independence. I wanted to be away. I no longer wanted to be in San Diego. I'm originally from San Diego, California, and I was going to school in LA, and I didn't want to go back home to San Diego. And it was either go back home being with my mom and living back with my mom. And I knew that I didn't want to go back there. And I wanted to be independent, and I wanted to show my independence, and I wanted to show that I could be independent. And I'm a Capricorn. And so I just knew.
Me too.
Hey. And so,
what's your birthday?
January 11th.
I'm January 12th, one day away.
So I just, it's the independence in me. And I wanted to just have my own. And not only that, like I was raised around a lot of single women in my family. I was raised around 13 women in my family. And so a lot of them were single Black women. And so raised around single women. And so a lot of them were, independent, single women and raising single kids. And so I knew that I wanted to be on my own, and I wanted to show that I could do this. And I wanted to make sure that if I decided to have kids, that I had wealth for them. And if I wanted to bring kids into this world, that I had money for them and I had wealth for them. And so I wanted to make sure before I did that I could show that. And so, I decided that, I wanted to live that life and, take care of myself and feed that. So I decided to venture off on myself. And then my aunts, because of the independence that they had, and the independence that, they did share with me and show me of being these women, these powerful women of entrepreneurship, I was able to cater to that lifestyle, and they showed me the independence and entrepreneurship. So I was able to learn a lot from them. and the mistakes that they made. And I was able to take those mistakes and learn from that and build a business and build this agency and build my own beauty brand, that I've had from Amazon. I've been able to build my own beauty product from Amazon from the last 9 years, on Amazon, Walmart, and Shopify for the last 9 years, and be successful even during COVID. So it's been amazing. It's been a blessing. And being able to even teach other women how to start their own beauty products as well on Amazon, it's been a blessing. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's super cool. And shout out to Debbie Watson. I see you chimed in. Thank you for watching. Debbie's one of our co-hosts right here on Community Difference Frisco. All right, so let me see. I've got a little bit of time here. I'm going to shift it back to Kim. Kim, you mentioned your little human. Is the little human a boy or a girl?
A boy. He turned 7 yesterday.
He turned 7. Okay. What do you do in your free time, if you ever have any free time?
My free time consists of me and him just doing whatever he wants. We have something almost every night. I'm the committee chair for our Cub Scout den, and I'm the booster mom for our baseball team. We have a game tonight, and my husband's the assistant coach, and he has his own little kids gym he goes to, and baseball practice 2 nights a week. So we kind of pinky in the brain it. We say, what are we going to do today? What amazing adventure are we going to go on today? And I love that. We will jump in the car and go to any festival or event that's about to go on. We just got back from New York. We went for his birthday and got to see all the sights, and he was so excited.
Love that. Awesome. Well, 7 is a great age, and then you're going to find out 10 is an even better age, and then you're going to find out when they hit 13, it all goes downhill, and then it comes back up.
My husband reminds me daily that my days are numbered.
Yeah, well, that's the beauty of kids are, they all have their different phases, and every phase is beauty in its own way. So awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Guys, we're going to wrap up here. What I want to do is just go around the horn and just ask a quick question. Brittany, I'm going to start with you. Just remind everybody who you are real quickly, 10 seconds, and then 20 seconds, tell us what your key takeaway from being on the show was today.
Yes, Brittany Washington and with Brittany Brands, and my key takeaway today was learning about authenticity. Definitely, yes.
That's a good one. Love it. All right, Kim, same question or same thing. Remind people who you are, what you do, and your key takeaway from today.
Yep, I'm Kim Wallace. I own Wallace Insurance Agency in Frisco. We do auto, home, life, and commercial insurance, so we can help you across the board. And I'd say our key takeaway is use the other people in your community, whether it be online or in person. I think that makes a huge difference for you personally, in your business, everything, and take advantage of that.
Yeah, great advice. And that's kind of what we're all about here on the Community Difference, is just getting everybody's name out, word out, spotlight on you guys, and be seen, be heard, be remembered is one of our taglines. So whatever we can do for you, we will, and we appreciate you guys coming on today and sharing your insights, sharing who you are. We do appreciate that. I love it because I get to meet new people, and even people that I already know that are coming on the show, I get to learn new stuff about them. So love that aspect. Lauren and Lily, thank you, ladies, for being my co-host today. Couldn't do it without you. Appreciate you. And with that, guys, come see our dodgeball tournament tomorrow, 9 a.m., Fieldhouse USA. Come watch Lyndon Wilson get hit in the head with a dodgeball. With that, guys, we're going to end the show here. But again, everybody have a fun, safe weekend, and we'll see you back here next Thursday, 2:30 p.m. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching today's show.
The Community Difference Frisco was made possible by Brian Poduska with Real Property Management Focus, Bethany Rowan with the Rowan Realty Group, Lilliana Aranda with Window Hero, Jax Kreider with PBJ Mortgage, Debbie Watson with Abracadoodle, Eric Buchanan with Goosehead Insurance, Meena Singh, college counselor and prep coach, and by Lauren Gill with My Live Love Travel. The Community Difference Frisco. Together, we can make the difference.